It's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, baby, it's a wild world. Just remember you, child. You know I've seen a lot of what the world can do. It's breaking my heart too. Cause I never wanna see you sad, girl. Don't be a bad girl. But if you wanna leave, take care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there. Just remember there's a lot of bad and beware. Baby, baby, it's a wild. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, baby, it's a wild world. And I'll always remember you, child. I love you, but if you wanna leave, take good care. Hope you make a lot of nice friends out there. But just remember, there's a lot of bad and beware. Baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by just upon a smile. Baby, baby, it's a wild world. Always remember you like the child girl. It's a wild world. And it's hard to get by just upon a smile. Oh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. And I'll always remember you like a child girl. When I wake up in the morning, sunlight hurts my eyes. Something without warning us bears heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world all right with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a love.
Good evening. My name is Dr. Tricia Johnson, and I am the Vice President of the Westminster Campus and the Brighton Center. On behalf of Front Range Community College, welcome to the 2022 Commencement Ceremony. Thank you very much for being here tonight as we join together to celebrate the accomplishments of our graduates. Please remove your hats and remain standing for the singing of our national anthem. If you would join us by standing, thank you. By FRCC student Katie Duran and interpreted by ASL students Kristen Hopwood and Sydney Kristen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Good evening. I'm Andy Dorsey, the president of Front Range Community College. And this week marks the first time we're publicly reading Front Range Community College's land acknowledgement statement. Front Range Community College acknowledges with respect that the lands that our campuses occupy are the ancestral and traditional homelands of numerous indigenous peoples: the Apache, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Comanche, Hopi, Kiowa, Lakota, Shoshone, Ute, and Zuni are among at least 48 contemporary, diverse, and vibrant Native nations that have been and continue to be a part of the recent history of the lands that make up the state of Colorado. As we speak these words of acknowledgement, our intention is to recognize the ties that those Native nations have to their traditional homelands, while also recognizing our responsibilities as an institution that is the beneficiary of this land. We must also acknowledge the painful histories and the magnitude of inequities that Native Americans and indigenous people continue to experience to this day. While we cannot expect the descendants living today to forgive or forget what has happened, we can offer a promise to remember the past and pledge to forge a new path forward, to treat our tenure in these lands with respect. Thank you.
I am honored to be joined on stage this evening by a number of faculty, staff, and distinguished guests of the college. And I would like to take a moment to introduce them to you. Stage guests, please stand when I introduce you. Andy Dorsey, President of Front Range Community College. Richard Garcia, member of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education. Patty Arroyo, Vice President of Finance and Administration. Dr. Tamra White, Vice President, Enrollment Services and Student Success. Dr. Rebecca Wolf, Vice President, Academic Affairs and Online Learning. Greg Mills, Mayor for the City of Brighton. Wayne Anderson, member of the Front Range Community College Area Advisory Council. Dr. Jean Runyon, Vice President of the Larimer Campus. Dr. Aparna Palmer, Vice President of the Boulder County Campus. Erica Ingalls, Dean of Student Affairs. Dr. April Menzies, Dean of Instruction. Aaron Farb, Dean of Instruction. Chance Fulmer, Business Information System and Integrated Technology Department Chair and Faculty. Elizabeth Plant, TRIO, Student Support Services Counselor. And Dr. Chelsea Stowe, Westminster Campus Faculty Senate President, Communications Lead Faculty. I also would like to recognize the FRCC Foundation Board who are joining us. The Foundation Board is committed to student success and responsible for raising scholarship funds. Ryan McCoy, Executive Director of the Foundation, is joined by Megan Taub, Associate Director. In November 2021, FRCC created a new guideline to designate faculty as emeritus. The purpose of this is to recognize the exceptional service of a faculty retiree who has made significant contributions to the college through designation of the honorary status. Since the program began, 6 faculty have been given this award. Donna Crane, English and Communications Department Chair, Faculty. Susan Faltenson, Interpreter Preparation Program Lead, Psychology Faculty. Tony Heidemann, History Faculty. Joe Murphy, Early Childhood Education Faculty. Myrnie Rosenberg, Early Childhood Education Faculty. And Randy Russell, English Faculty. Please help us in congratulating these emeritus faculty. Now I would like to invite Richard Garcia, member of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, to give a formal welcome from the board.
Buenas noches. Good evening. On behalf of the State Board for Community Colleges, welcome and congratulations. When you chose to make a community college a part of your lifelong education process, you joined the ranks of some of the most successful people in America. Community college alumni have gone to become leaders in medicine, business, entertainment, and the arts, governors and senators, and even the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives. And I may add that now we have a First Lady that teaches in the community college. But education is not just about a career. Education is the first step in a long process of personal growth. Compassion and courage and critical thinking will serve you well as you face the tough issues of our world today. Some of you will go on to four-year universities and some into the workforce. No matter where you go, keep your eyes open to the world around you. Always see in others what they are capable of being and becoming. Show them the good that can come from a great education. Show them, above all else, that they can do it too. Si se puede. Civil rights legend Harriet Tubman said, "Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world." This is my challenge to you. Never stop learning. As your education begins to open doors for you, know that you have it within you to do what it takes to make the world a better place. Thank you. Congratulations. Felicidades. Felicitaciones. Y si se puede. Yes, you can. You did it.
Tonight is indeed a celebration. This moment is one we must relish. Each of us is here tonight to honor you, our graduates. We honor the immense effort that you have put in and the commitment that you have made to yourself, to your loved ones, to your future. I'm certain that you've had to make choices. You likely had to make sacrifices, miss out on events or activities that are meaningful in your life in order to continue advancing, to earn your certificate, your diploma, or your degree, possibly more than one of those. And while you did this to reach a personal goal, you may also have done this for someone else in your life. So graduates, take a look around right now. Look to your left, look to your right, look behind you, in front of you. Do you see someone who helped you make it to this point? If so, feel free to point them out, to honor them for the role that they play in supporting you and being a critical part of your community. I need to see those fingers. Point them out. I know they're here, and I am certain that we will be hearing from them as you cross the stage later this evening and receive your just recognition. It's also important to honor you for the individual that you are and for what you have brought to our college community, both inside and outside the classroom. So this part is interactive, and graduates, I'm going to need your help. Raise your hand if you are the first person in your family to earn a college credential. Raise your hand if you are a parent or a primary caregiver to a loved one. Raise your hand if you are a veteran. Raise your hand if you've worked while you've gone to school at FRCC. Raise your hand if you participated in an apprenticeship. Raise your hand if you took an online class. Raise your hand if you took concurrent enrollment classes. Raise your hand if you have been a Brighton Center student. Raise your hand if you speak a language other than English. Raise your hand if you are a success story. That's all of you. Put those hands up. Each of these identities and so many others are what make our college what it is. We are stronger, we are better because of the uniqueness of you. No doubt you will take this and all that you have learned from others around you into the next phase of your life. And we can't wait to see what's next for you. Many colleges invite a dignitary to address students with a commencement speech. At FRCC, we use this special occasion to highlight the voices of our own graduates and our master teacher. These speakers represent our community. At this time, I would like to invite the Front Range Community College voices to the stage.
If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. These are the words my grandfather, Robert Gordon, shared with me from a young age. Each one of us have found our passions and dreams with FRCC staff and administrators, facilitating each one of our specified milestones at this moment in our lives. I am a mother, a Black woman of color, non-traditional student, TRIO lead peer mentor and participant, recipient of 2 pharmacy certifications, and now an associate's in arts with a focus on psychology. I am Janessa. As a representative for students at FRCC who have beat the statistics, who despite all the hurdles and difficulties of our intersectional differences, we are now here, donned in these seats, we are now here in these seats, donned in our caps and gowns, and basking in the sweet nectar of our achievements. My time at FRCC has been an experience memorialized by many barriers and achievements. which gave me the opportunity to identify my fears and push courageously beyond my boundaries with grit and persistence. As a returning student after a 10-year hiatus, I struggled with balancing my life, work, and education. Fortunately, I found a community with faculty like Elizabeth Plant, who welcomed me into Trio SSS with open arms and without judgment. Stuart Ulrich, who gave me strength and who gave me enough confidence in my writing skills my first semester back that I've earned several scholarships since. Christina Call, who helped me understand the grieving process that COVID-19 left us with, and Tamara Carson, who diligently worked hard to ensure that I had adequate and safe childcare for my son. These people and more have supported me in moments where I felt like giving up and were critical to my success. As a result, this has been one of the most prolific means of reclaiming my life. My 7-year-old son, who's right up there, I love you, kiddo, has witnessed his mother's face in the books for the past 3 years, gaining success with each turn of the page. I am breaking that generational cycle. Thanks to Thanks to FRCC, I can say with pride that I am no longer a statistic or a product of my environment. And some of you probably broke those barriers too. As we all know, this journey has not been an easy one. With long hours, ups and downs, some of us have lost family and friends along the way. We've witnessed social issues like Me Too and countless other unrecorded incidents of injustices like George Floyd. In times of uncertainty, FRCC was our home and provided opportunities for hard discussions and healing. We claim today's success with pride because of FRCC's dedication to student success. But at the end of the day, we truly did it because we never gave up. We made our dreams a reality. Love what you do every day and never let go of that promise to yourself. We did it, Grandpa.
Wow, how do you top that? First and foremost, I want to thank French for giving me this amazing opportunity. This was not planned, but Sunday actually marks the 10th anniversary of my brain injury. Believe me when I say, when you're a 13-year-old boy hooked up to life support, the last thing on your mind is that you will be giving a speech at the commencement ceremony of your college in 10 years. I want to be an example for you all to take home and keep with you for the rest of your lives. Remember this: hard times can and will happen, but how you react determines the outcome. My fellow graduates, tonight is a momentous occasion. For tonight, we stand at the crossroads of a new beginning. 2,500 years ago, a Persian king said this: "Success always calls for greater generosity. Though most people, lost in the darkness of their own egos, treat it as an occasion for greater greed." Collecting boot or reward is not an end itself, but only a mean for building an empire. Riches would be of little use to us now, except as a means for winning new friends. Hi, I am Daniel Conniff, and I am a graduate of the Brighton Center. So I would like to tell you a little bit about my experience at that campus. So Front Range helped me on my journey to discover who I am. Part of that journey has been working with truly amazing people. I will start with the Brighton Center. So just a few people, because this would be a long speech if I thanked everyone. But first, I want to thank Cynthia Garcia for helping me, a first-generation student, tackle the ins and outs of higher ed. Second, I want to thank the psychology instructor, Constance Smith, for helping me realize my compassion for others. I also want to thank Dr. Charles Cummings for showing me that philosophy is really cool. Last of all, at the Brighton Center, I want to thank Dr. John Agnew and Dr. Lisa Mace for helping me out in science, which God knows I'm not that great at. So lastly, I want to thank an extraordinary teacher who actually helped me discover my passion for history. That would be Mr. Will Heberlein. His early civilizations course got me hooked on antiquity. I have decided, because of him and because of what he taught me, I have decided to change my major to history once I transferred to MSU Denver in the fall. And I am excited to see what opportunities open up once I do so. Whatever I do, I know God will see me through. To wrap this up, Front Range helped me find myself against all odds. I would like to once again thank all of the outstanding faculty and staff at Front Range, and I would also like to thank my peers for learning with me and being my friends. Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." So, my fellow graduates, as I leave you tonight, I want to ask you one last question. What are you doing with what you have? Thank you.
I believe there is a time and a purpose for every human life. However, it is up to each of us to realize that purpose and manifest it. I believe my purpose is to help others. My name is Ruby Kwanzaa. I am a member of TRIO, a first-gen student, mother of 6, 4 here with me in the United States, and 2 in Africa, Ghana specifically. Working full-time, and I'm graduating today with my Associate of Applied Science in Nursing. Growing up, when playing with other children, we would often take up roles of doctors, nurses, patients, and parents. But interestingly, I remember I always opt out to be the nurse, using socks as my gloves. I use broomsticks for syringes, and I use the back of my hand as a thermometer to check temperatures. Having no clue that I was going to become a real nurse some years later. In 1999, I lost my dad to what no one understood at the time as cardiac arrest. They said he collapsed, and they kept pouring water on him instead of administering CPR. Upon arrival at the hospital, he was pronounced dead. His life may have been saved if someone in my family at least has some knowledge in CPR. Because of this experience and building on my childhood dreams, I became very determined that if God made a way, I would take up the challenge of getting trained in healthcare and also in CPR so that I could help my family and the community. I started my nursing journey, getting my license, practical nursing certificate, worked for 5 years, and then was able to join the LPN ADN class at Front Range Community College, Westminster campus. My nursing school journey was not easy. I lost my younger sister right when I started the program, who left behind her 9-month-old twin girls. There were countless number of times when my peers and I shed tears and wanted to quit. Classes were so difficult, and we struggled. But with determination, support from my family, faculty, colleagues, today I stand before you as a graduate. There were 10 students in my cohort, the LPN ADN bridge, who joined the test semester nursing program. Out of the 10, 9 of us have been able to successfully complete the program and graduate with an Associate of Applied Science in Nursing. My colleagues, we have made it. Nursing is a challenging profession that demands selfless love, compassion, service, dedication, and being ready to accept the challenge no matter what the situation may be, knowing that we are always advocates for our patients. Nursing is about we. Nursing is not you. Nursing is about we and not I. Nursing is about teamwork. Nursing is about effecting change. We have moved on to our various endeavors. I charge you all to never feel afraid to ask questions and seek advice from our leaders. The FRCC Nursing Department has prepared us to be effective, efficient, and equipped us to be not only to be help to our immediate families, but in our community and the nations at large. We have big responsibilities, nurses. The tough times may come, but when they do not be indifferent nor quit, for winners never quit, and quitters never win. I know because I never quit, today I'm manifesting my purpose. I charge you, graduates, to use your education to help those you serve, love the people you serve, be an example of liberative and transformative people by being engaged with the world around you. Never allow yourself to be comfortable or complacent as long as people are marginalized and injustice is being perpetuated in your field of service. Napoleon Hill once said, "Victory is always possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting." Finally, I would like to express my appreciation to my family, the TRIO team, Kathy Trauma, Board of Directors, nursing faculties, my co-workers, my church family, the Spring 2022 cohort, and all members of FRCC community. My dear fellow graduates, can you all humbly be on your feet with me at this moment as we applaud each other. Can you all humbly be on your feet? Applaud each other and tap your chest on the chest and said, I did it. And look at your sister or your brother and tell him, we did it. Despite the hardship we all faced during the COVID-19 pandemic, we've been able to accomplish our goals. Congratulations. Thank you.
An investment in knowledge always pays the best interest. During my time here at Front Range Community College, I found that the wise words of Benjamin Franklin ring true. Hello, my name is Gabriel Murphy, and I'm a Gateway to College graduate. Before entering Gateway to College, I was at a low point in learning. I didn't have much motivation to keep attending school, and it just wasn't enjoyable anymore. Gateway helped change that by introducing me to new people. They hosted big group events where you got to meet other Gateway students, which creates a better environment, and you get to talk to and know the people that you are around. Suddenly, I was surrounded by people who wanted to be there and learn, just as I did. For 2 years, the Gateway staff have regularly checked in with me, often asking how I am doing and if I need help. They provide an amazing support system, and I felt like they really cared about me from start to finish. It's a community. The professors at Front Range have also been a great help throughout my journey. My writing professor, Tino Gomez, helped me build confidence in my writing and pushed me to build better communication skills, which I use in my everyday life. The feedback and critiques I've gotten from class have changed how I look at my writing and how I will shape my writing going forward. Mr. Gomez invested in me by sharing his expertise and built up my own skills. This newfound knowledge will greatly help me as I transfer to CU to pursue a bachelor's degree in business. As American journalist Tom Brokaw once said, "You are educated, your certification is in your degree. You may think of it as a ticket to a good life. Let me ask you to think of an alternative. Think of it as your ticket to change the world." Graduates of 2022, you worked hard to earn the degrees and certificates awarded here today. Now use them and the skills you've learned here at FRCC to change the world. Congratulations.
Hi, short people stuff. So I've got good news and bad. Good news is you only have one more speech before we start handing you some diplomas. Yeah. Bad news is I'm the schmuck that will be giving that speech, so strap in. So I Googled how to make a memorable speech this morning, because 21st century. And it said, start with some observational humor. And I was kind of hoping something would come to me by now, but the only thing I can think of is how weird it is that you all decided to dress in exactly the same way today. Like over 300 people woke up this morning and were like, blue. We're doing blue. Before I dive in, however, I just want to take a second to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to speak today. I'm here because I was granted the Lifetime Achievement Award of Master Teacher in 2021. Thank you. Normally, that's quite an honor, but I think we can agree that being recognized for your work as a teacher during the height of a generation-defining pandemic, when our classrooms were webcams and our students were tiny little rectangles on a screen, that's pretty crazy. The pandemic was unquestionably difficult for every one of us. I want to recognize all of my colleagues, from the custodians to the academic advisors to the librarians, the administrators, and of course, each and every one of my fellow teachers. With sheer determination, you helped this graduating class reach their goals despite a catastrophe that has claimed over 1 million lives in America so far. Please stop and take a moment to recognize how amazing you are. And please know how immensely proud I am to be counted among your ranks. While being singled out among so many hardworking people is a privilege, and as I said, it's also just dumb luck. I know it sounds cheesy, but honestly, the real reward is having the opportunity to teach. I often ask my students, if you could travel back in time, what would you do? And they always answer by imagining traveling back and altering one tiny little thing that would change the world. I'm quick to point out that if they believe going back in time and changing one small thing would have such an impact, why can't they realize how important all the tiny things they're doing right now are? Let me give you an example of how small things can make a big difference. One of my former students is sitting with us today in this auditorium. After taking one of my ethics classes, we went on to become friends. Years later, she gave me a painting, and on the back it said, "Thank you for saving my life," without even realizing it. I asked her what she meant by that, and she told me that when she enrolled in my class, she was suicidal, and when the class was over, she wasn't it anymore. Imagine, thank you. Imagine setting a candle on the floor in a dark, empty room. Picture it in your mind. Notice how all the shadows in the room are shaped like arrows, pointing back to the light. She told me that I taught her how to see the darkness, but how to use the darkness as an arrow back to the light. The universe is largely empty, indifferent, and cold. And the greatest act of defiance in the face of that fact is simple kindness. Kindness is not naive, it is strategic and necessary. Education is an axe for the frozen sea within us. It's how we fight for what's worth keeping in this world. And it's how I earned the greatest reward I'll ever receive as a teacher. It's what gives me the motivation to continue in the face of adversity. And I wanted to take this opportunity to tell her we're all so grateful that she's still here. Thank you. As I stand before the graduating class of 2022, I can't help but wonder, what was it that motivated this group to persevere in the face of such overwhelming difficulties? It's just a guess, but I can't help but believe that in your own way, each and every one of you wants to save the world. Saving the entire world is a difficult task, but speaking from experience, believe me when I say, if you can help just one person, then it's worth it. And if that one person you save is yourself, then as far as I'm concerned, that counts. Please remember that ethics and decency are the gifts that you add to the treasure chest of life we all share. But y'all didn't come to hear me babble on with unsolicited advice. You all clearly understand yourselves and your motivations well enough to be counted amongst one of the most impressive groups in the early quarter of the 21st century. You are the graduating class of 2022. Talk about bragging rights. Take a second and realize your grandchildren are going to be boasting about you in a few decades. Everyone in this room, take a second and reflect that we are in the middle of something amazing, terrifying, but amazing all the same. The only thing more amazing than living and thriving in the first quarter of the 21st century is the fact that they asked someone as bad as me at writing speeches to commemorate the event. I know you are all educated in different ways, learning skills on a wide range of topics and for a wide range of goals. But I think the most important thing for you to recognize is that you are all now educated, and no one can ever take that away from you. Education is the fuel for the light and the potential within each of us. It reaches in all directions, but originates from a single point, like a lighthouse in the dead of night. That single point is you. And just like a lighthouse, please remember how big of a difference you can make by just sitting there shining. Imagine some poor sailor lost at sea on the worst night of their lives who finds their way through the storm by following the sparkle of a lighthouse that doesn't even know how important that light is to that one person in the dark that they can't see. Being educated means being able to think, but more importantly, it means being able to think about your own thinking. For example, I hope we can all agree that we should love, hate, and fear. But things have been so turned around in these last few years that now I see people who love to hate, people who are afraid to love, and who hate to reflect on their own thoughts. But you've learned to think, to really think, and so you'll be aware enough to choose to look differently at the knee-jerk narrative of frustration and confusion and conflict that defines so much of our world today. You'll remember that hatred and despair are simple answers to what are, in fact, very complex questions. And you'll have the self-discipline to break down those big problems into manageable pieces that you can use to build a better world with. I am immensely proud of each and every one of you, and I'm grateful that you've journeyed through this historic moment and have stumbled through the darkness with us as we keep moving forward, always pointed to the light. I love you, and there's not a single thing you can do to stop me. Thank you for and congratulations to the class of 2022.
Please join me once again in recognizing these outstanding individuals who represent what Front Range Community College is all about. State Board Member Richard Garcia will now authorize the college to grant degrees.
On behalf of the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, I grant President Dorsey the authority to confer the appropriate degrees and certificates.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Would the graduates please stand? You've been standing a lot tonight, I know. To the members of the State Board, family, friends, faculty, staff, and other guests, I am pleased to certify that these students have completed the necessary requirements to receive an associate degree, certificate, or diploma. And now to the class of 2021-2022, upon the recommendation of the faculty of Front Range Community College, and by the authority vested in me by the State Board for Community Colleges and Occupational Education, I confer upon you the degrees or certificate you have earned with all the rights and privileges. Congratulations. Graduates, please be seated until the marshals bring you forward. As your name is read, please come across the stage. I'll meet you right about over there, and the photographer will be right here. As I hand you the diploma, we'll turn slightly to face the photographer, and they'll take a picture of us. Dr. Johnson will then be on this side of the stage, and you may choose to shake hands if you wish. I do know that we are in a pandemic, and so if you choose not to, that's fine as well. I look forward to handing you your diploma in just a second.
Daniel James Cano, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation.
Kathleen Alexis Duran, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Communication designation.
Kristen Hopwood, the Associate Degree of Arts, cum laude.
Sydney Kristen, the Associate's Degree of Arts, summa cum laude.
Mongreg Longoria Sains, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Cybersecurity.
Jaime Martinez, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Computer Information Systems.
Kerwin Lee Layton, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Graphic Design, magna cum laude.
Karen Zarek, the Certificate in Advanced Pharmacy Technician Training.
Marissa Gomez Wall, the Associate Degree of Arts, summa cum laude.
Barbara Marroquin, the Certificate in Sterile Processing.
Apollo Zachary Blue, the Associate Degree of Arts, magna cum laude.
Gilbert Green, the Certificate in Network Technician.
Brian Labarge, the Associate Degree of Science.
Jay May, the Associate Degree of Arts with Elementary Teacher Education designation.
Lee Garza, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Shelby Billups, the Associate Degree of Applied Science and Business.
Gabrielle Byers, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, magna cum laude.
Manis Bisokarma, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Programming, cum laude.
Antoinette Stefanovic, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology, cum laude.
Melanie Rosenberg, the Associate Degree of Arts, magna cum laude.
Sierra DePape, the Associate Degree of Arts with Criminal Justice designation, summa cum laude.
Faith Alexis Richardson, the Associate Degree of Arts with Elementary Teacher Education designation, cum laude.
Angeli G. Yang, the Associate Degree of Science, cum laude.
Amanda Sue Fernandez, the certificate in medical assistant.
Christina Marie Clough, the certificate in medical assistant.
Alex Comeng Tao, the associate degree of applied science in cybersecurity, cum laude.
Machen Craig, the associate degree of arts.
Juan Roman Hernandez Jaimes, the associate's degree of science.
Eric Duran Maldonado, the associate degree of arts with business designation, summa cum laude.
Alexis Janice Baldazan, the associate degree of arts with business designation, cum laude.
Brushane Pays, the associate degree of arts with business designation, cum laude.
Liza Lizeth Pena Valdez, the associate's degree of arts.
Maria Sierra, the associate degree of arts with elementary teacher education designation.
Ana L. Sierra, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Jocelyn Chacon Roseos, the associate degree of arts with psychology designation, cum laude.
Lisa Yang, the associate degree of arts with business designation, magna cum laude.
Baxter Endicott, the associate degree of applied science in video production and editing.
Daryl Tooley Ben, the certificate in sterile processing.
Mark Baldwin, the certificate in medical coding.
Vincent Pino, the associate's degree of arts, cum laude.
Riley Rafferty, the associate degree of arts with communication designation.
Destiny Sena, the associate's degree of applied science in automotive technology, cum laude.
Giuliano Murillo, the associate in foundations of business.
Michaela Kempelman, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Mani Ana Zabo, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Jacqueline Magallanes. The certificate in emergency medical technician.
Mitchell Manning, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Recording Arts Technology. Jillian O'Connell, the Associate Degree of Arts, cum laude.
Mackenzie Bell Brown, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education, summa cum laude.
Luz M. Gordillo, the Associate Degree of General Studies.
Natasha Marie Dunbar, the Certificate in Early Childhood Teacher.
Nathan Luging, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Danette Jolene Spears, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Surgical Technology.
Shanae Danielle Martinez, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Surgical Technology.
Tracy Graham, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology, magna cum laude.
Jordan J. Castro, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Talia Esperanza Diaz, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Alyssa Ryan Sanchez, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Cynthia K. Kennedy Moore, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology, summa cum laude.
Cassandra Gutierrez, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology, cum laude.
Julio Ramos Hernandez, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Business Designation, magna cum laude.
Brianna Gloden, the Associate Degree of Arts with Business Designation.
Samantha McBean, the Associate's Degree of Science.
Marie Benitez Rios, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Leonela Areola Ramirez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Taylor Jean Burback, the Associate Degree of Arts with Business Designation.
Sabrina Alicia Sanchez, the Associate's Degree of Science.
Lindsay Val Lunning, the Associate Degree of Science.
Zyret Isela Otero, the Certificate in Paralegal Legal Assistant.
Abraham Gabriel Tavar, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Nursing, cum laude.
Ana Cecilia Mota Rodriguez, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Nursing, cum laude.
Jeremiah Fernandez, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Kaylee Graham, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, magna cum laude.
Brian Padilla Ponce, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Maritza Ornelas Rodriguez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Alize Monique Medina, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, cum laude.
Zachary George Ballard, Gateway to College graduate.
Melody Garcia, the Associate Degree of General Studies.
Dalton A. Davey, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Elsie Yong, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Holly Aline Peterson, the Associate's Degree of Science, magna cum laude.
Athena Charis Royce, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Paralegal, Legal Assistant, magna cum laude.
Tanisha Brock, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, cum laude.
Hope Catherine Colicino, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Automotive Technology.
Jaime Olivares, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Computer Information Systems.
Liliana Lopez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Jacqueline Carillo, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Jessica Bandy Brumgart, the Associate Degree of Science, summa cum laude.
Belen Haug, the Associate's Degree of General Studies.
Kimberly Ann Nez, the certificate in medical assistant.
Angelique Montoya Johnson, the Associate's degree of General Studies.
Kevin U. Escaville, the certificate in business specialization.
Gabrielle Elise Van Winkle, the Associate's degree of Arts with Criminal Justice designation.
Susan Leanne Smith, the associate degree of applied science in paralegal legal assistant, summa cum laude.
David Porter, the Associate's degree of Applied Science in Computer Information Systems, cum laude.
Alexis Lopez, the certificate in business specialization.
Demario Nzinga, the certificate in excellent welding.
Rosa E. Tena Munez, the certificate in early childhood assistant teacher.
Maria Guadalupe Hernandez, the certificate in business specialization.
Aaron L. O'Brien, the certificate in sterile processing.
Allison Wickline, the Associate's degree of Arts, summa cum laude.
Anea Wagner Lovelady, the certificate in public safety dispatch.
Amber Michelle Tanner Allen, the Associate's degree of Arts with Psychology designation, cum laude.
Esteban Sines, the associate degree of arts with business designation.
Matthew James Taylor, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Gracie Noel Passarelli, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Sawyer Lee Serbo, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Daniel Jean Moore, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Lady Danya Mota, the Associate's degree of Arts.
Rachel Erland, the associate degree of applied science in accounting.
Brittany Nadia McDonald, the Associate's degree of Arts.
Marco Javier Hosendov, the certificate in application specialist.
Oscar Ramirez, the certificate in applications specialist.
Alfredo Reyes Hernandez, the certificate in application specialist.
Kristen Love Patillo, the Associate's degree of Arts, cum laude. Yesenia Levano Nava, the Associate's degree of Arts with Early Childhood Teacher designation.
Brianna Levano, the associate degree of arts, cum laude.
Paola Edith Garcia Perez, the certificate in Early Childhood Assistant Teacher.
Danielle Lovato, the certificate in medical coding.
Angeline Bolin, the Associate's degree of Applied Science in Paralegal Legal Assistant, magna cum laude.
Alyssa J. Gillen, the associate degree of general studies.
Stephanie Winfrey, the Associate's degree of Science.
Yasmin Leticia Mota, the associate degree of arts with Spanish designation.
Maya Lujan, the Associate's degree of Arts with Psychology designation.
Rochelle Marie Kelly, the associate degree of arts with psychology designation, magna cum laude.
Ashley Anzures, the Associate's degree of Science.
Eric Macias, the certificate in construction essentials.
Jasmine Amaris, the Associate's degree of Arts.
Donovan Contino, construction essentials.
Marlena Julie Badell, the certificate in business specialization.
Yuki Bowder, the certificate in early childhood assistant teacher.
Harley Cree Jasper, the Associate degree of Arts, cum laude.
Janet Hinojos, the certificate in construction essentials.
Guadalupe Saray Vera de la Torre, the certificate in business specialization.
Amanda L. Hall, the certificate in construction essentials.
Jason Andrew Myers, the certificate in construction essentials.
Jaime Valdez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Eduardo Quintana Rodriguez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Derek Eugene Norwood, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Omar Adrian Arevalo, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Andrew LaCrue, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Isaiah Ortiz, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Miguel Murillo, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Tiffany Daw, the Associate's Degree of General Studies, magna cum laude.
Aide Guadalupe Hernandez, the Certificate in Advanced Pharmacy Technician Training.
Chelsea Jones, the Certificate in Advanced Pharmacy Technician Training.
Sonia Moore, the Certificate in Advanced Pharmacy Technician Training.
Brisedi Pena Ortega, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Efren Vidana, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Mario Avesedo Fonseca, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Adriana Navarro Garcia, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Desiree Marquez, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Vania E. Moreno, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Miguel Lino Abana, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Justin Hargrave, the Associate Degree of Science, magna cum laude.
Marlene Riddle, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Political Science designation, magna cum laude.
Miriam T. Villanueva, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Ashley Favela, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Stephen Callahan Rainey, the Associate Degree of General Studies, magna cum laude.
Zach Sweet, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Cy Clayton Rennie, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Daisy Naomi Escarcega, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Lisbeth Gutierrez, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Melissa Christina Radke, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Jamalet Tereses Loya, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Danielle Kelly, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Francisco Jair Perel, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Savannah Bustamante, the associate's degree of science.
Rosa Maria Armas, the associate degree of arts with business designation.
Josephine Batchelder, the associate's degree of science.
Kelsey Roberts, the associate degree of arts with communication designation, magna cum laude.
Mugada Yoruba Secret, the associate's degree of applied science and computer information systems, magna cum laude.
Brian Aniba Moina, the certificate in construction essentials.
Michelle Yvette Casares, the certificate in business specialization.
Jessica R. Wolkenstorfer, the associate degree of applied science in automotive technology, cum laude.
Morgan Trujillo, the associate's degree of applied science in automotive technology, cum laude.
Jalen Perez, the associate degree of arts with business designation, cum laude.
Alex Hannenberg, the associate's degree of science, magna cum laude.
Cameron White, the associate degree of applied science in programming.
Aspen Sanchez, the associate's degree of arts with business designation.
Amira Bruciaga Crum, the certificate in phlebotomy. Christopher E. Espino, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Jose Alfonso Anguiano, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Giuliano Assorino Barron, the certificate in phlebotomy.
Ana Karen Gonzalez Soto, the associate's degree of arts with psychology designation.
Janessa Gordon, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation.
Amber Brady Schutte, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, summa cum laude.
Mekadis Temeskin, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Nursing.
Ruby Rabana Kwanzaa, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Nursing.
Lorena Rodarte, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Nursing.
Megan Crawford, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Nursing, cum laude.
Kimberly Jimenez, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Nursing.
Mary Brunette, the Certificate in Horticulture.
Jody Lynn Romero, the Certificate in Horticulture.
Sarah Johnson, the Associate's Degree of Science, cum laude.
Maxwell Benjamin Rosenshine, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Automotive Technology and Computer-Aided Design, cum laude.
Ariel Martinez, the Associate's Degree of Arts, cum laude.
Maddie Jones, the Associate Degree of Arts, magna cum laude.
Delaney Davison, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Sophia Gutierrez, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
James Vargas, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Political Science designation, cum laude.
Jordan Gallegos, the Associate Degree of Arts with Elementary Teacher Education designation, cum laude.
Christian Wen, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Networking and Visualization, cum laude.
Chelsea J. Freeman, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation, cum laude.
Diego Cereceres, the Certificate in Phlebotomy.
James Tufford, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Marcos Canales, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Business designation.
Kaylina Pugh, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Cara Caraway, the Associate's Degree of Science.
Connor James Beasley, the Associate Degree of General Studies.
Johnny Shen, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Jacqueline Paz Pelira, the certificate in medical assistant.
Diana Blancarte, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Early Childhood Teacher Designation.
Amy Richards, the associate degree of science.
Giovanna Lara Quesada, the Associate's Degree of Arts.
Tashanya Acacia Rumley, the associate degree of arts with psychology designation, magna cum laude.
Tamara Yamalet Fierro, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Anthony J. Roberts, the associate degree of arts with psychology designation, summa cum laude.
Angel Haniel Shepherd, the Associate's Degree of Science.
Sarah Jin Levin, the certificate in sterile processing.
Desiree Monique Medina, the Certificate in Sterile Processing.
Mia Cristina Silvas, the certificate in construction essentials.
Carolina Sanchez, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Rebecca Marson Eckert, the associate degree of science.
Yi Zong, the Certificate in Medical Coding.
Cade Philip Smith, the certificate in emergency medical technician.
Julia Rose Maria Collins, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology.
Naomi Elisma Quesada Perez, the certificate in medical assisting.
Cheyenne Page Gamboa, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Criminal Justice Designation.
Osman Zuniga Rojas, the certificate in construction essentials.
Vianney Aguirre Coronado, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Vanessa Mota Rodriguez, the certificate in business specialization.
Miguel Ángel Alemán Sales, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Kira Louise Vandermeer, the associate degree of applied science in accounting.
Francisco Javier Diaz Alba, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Tracy Bond Berkeley, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Health Technologies, summa cum laude.
Lori Marie Stanton, the Certificate in Early Childhood Assistant Teacher.
Jessica L. Woolard, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation.
Kara Marie Cecilia Banks, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Paralegal Legal Assistant, magna cum laude.
Ashley Aaron Rivera, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Paralegal Legal Assistant.
Alejandra Martinez Valladares, the Certificate in Small Business Operations.
Melanie Irene Ayers Mulcahy, the Associate Degree of Arts, magna cum laude.
Albert Guzman, the Associate's Degree of Arts.
Rachel Unger, the Associate Degree of General Studies.
Victor Uriel Rocha, the Certificate in Foundations of Business.
Caitlin Marie Pullen, the Certificate in Early Childhood Teacher.
Joseph Ahmad, the Associate's Degree of Science, magna cum laude.
Wagma Ahmad, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Business, cum laude.
Brian Nunez Milla, the Associate's Degree of General Studies.
Jeremy Monsinas, the Associate Degree of Science, cum laude.
Just a quick PSA. It's a request that all the people who have received their diplomas, please stay until everybody has received their diploma. Thank you.
Jose Antonio Chacon Loya, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Business, summa cum laude.
Grant Uden, the Certificate in Clinical Emergency Medical Technician.
Melissa Fonseca, the Certificate in Pharmacy Technician.
Amelia Jean Tomshak, the Associate's Degree of Science.
Selena Lacroix, the Associate Degree of Science.
Rebecca Ruiz, the Associate's Degree of Arts with a Studio Art designation, magna cum laude.
Gabrielle Joseph Murphy, Gateway to College graduate.
Matthew Taylor, Gateway to College.
Sabrina Nicole Ferrara, Gateway to College graduate.
Jasmine Castillo, Gateway to College.
Leslie Gutierrez, the Gateway to College graduate.
Avery Reese, Gateway to College.
Medina Murad, Gateway to College graduate.
Robert Epi, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Computer Information Systems.
Tarifa N. Traor, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Angel Romero, the Associate's Degree of General Studies.
Nyla Giovanna Martinez, the Certificate in Early Childhood Assistant Teacher.
Jacqueline Dielo Lopez, the Certificate in Early Childhood Assistant Teacher.
Sarah Sanchez, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Jacqueline Zamora, the Certificate in Medical Assistant.
Daisy Lozano Vargas, the Certificate in Medical Assisting.
Nathan Keaveney, the Certificate in Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages Abroad.
Amanda Franz, the Associate Degree of Arts with History designation.
Maria Bergen Alfaro, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Kaylee Rose Jacobson, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Mary Scholl, the Certificate in Medical Coding.
Christina Wallace, the Certificate in Medical Coding.
Malia Christine Benavides, Certificate in Medical Coding.
Genevieve Sorensen, the Associate Degree of Science, summa cum laude.
Riley Ann Case, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Business Designation, magna cum laude.
Jason Cullum, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Health Information Technology.
Arturo Landeros, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Automotive Technology.
Valeria Garcia, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Karina Esquivel, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Marissa Grace Parks, the Associate Degree of Arts with Business Designation, magna cum laude.
Tori Gonzalez, the Associate's Degree of Arts with Business Designation.
Idalia Macias Chavez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Rebecca Faith Wallace, the Associate's degree of Science, magna cum laude.
Cindy Portillo, the certificate in early childhood assistant teacher.
Stephanie Nava Macias, the certificate in early childhood assistant teacher.
Daniel James Jaquez, the certificate in construction essentials.
Charlotte Noten, the Associate's degree of Arts, cum laude.
Brielle Oralia Navarro Martinez, the certificate in application specialist.
Abraham Yanas Renteria, the certificate in application specialist.
Dominic Francisco Argueta, the certificate in application specialist.
Brandon Delgado, the certificate in application specialist.
Tim Coronado, the certificate in application specialist.
Zachary Martinez, a certificate in application specialist.
Malia Savannah Fracapane, the certificate in video production and editing.
Brittany Nicole Stewart, the Associate's degree of Arts with criminal justice designation, cum laude.
Juan David Esparza, the certificate in construction essentials.
Devin Fitch, the Associate's degree of Arts, magna cum laude.
Danielle Marie Gilbert, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education, summa cum laude.
Natalie Nick, the Associate's degree of Applied Science in Graphic Design, cum laude.
Evelyn Torres Corrales, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Isabella Andrea Olivas, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Ankita Laktawala, the Certificate in Medical Office Administration Assistant.
Austin Mee, the Associate's degree of Arts with Criminal Justice designation.
Richard Muniz, Jr., the Certificate in Oxetylene Welding.
Sunny Ray Lopez, the Certificate in Early Childhood Assistant Teacher.
Jimena Vega Molina, the certificate in early childhood assistant teacher.
Melissa Martinez, the Associate's Degree of Arts.
Jose Luis Angel Garcia Carlos, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology designation.
Joy Lynn Sunshine Clapper, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science and Graphic Design, summa cum laude.
Connor Thomas Collier, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Sierra Ernestine Trujillo, the Certificate in Application Specialist.
Aaron Anemone Chadley, this is Associate Degree of Science, magna cum laude.
Jordan Ray Perez, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Paralegal Legal Assistant.
Robin Coleo Morgan, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Medical Assisting, summa cum laude.
Justice Martinez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Stacy Hernandez Trevino, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Kimberly Sanchez, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Marlene Rios Rodriguez, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Emily Stenzi, the Associates in Applied Science in Graphic Design and Multimedia.
Ana Sofia Caranco, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
Leonardo Gonzalez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Alejandro Alvarado, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Ivan Goldera, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Edwin Sabata, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Henry Flores, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Ricardo Garza, the Certificate in Bookkeeping.
Amber Navidad Torres, the Certificate in Early Childhood Director.
Cherie Leonati, the Associate Degree of Applied Science in Paralegal, Legal Assistant, summa cum laude.
Mintautas Pakalnas, the Certificate in Tax Preparation.
Helena Jasmine Leva, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Kristen Brandt, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science and Health Information Technology, summa cum laude.
Antonio Rudas Chaparro, the Associate Degree of Science.
Jasmine Ruidas Chaparro, the Certificate in Practical Nursing.
Melissa Desatel, the Associate Degree of Arts.
Raul Camarena, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Obed Gomez, the Certificate in Construction Essentials.
Jamie Itzel Santana, the Certificate in Business Specialization.
V. Nguyen, the Associate Degree of Arts with Business Designation.
Brittany Withy, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science in Nursing, magna cum laude.
Nayeli Chavez, the Associate Degree of Arts with Criminal Justice Designation.
Cole Wiley, the Associate's Degree of Science, summa cum laude.
Michaela Martich, the Associate Degree of Arts with Psychology Designation.
Savannah Grace Poole, the Associate's Degree of Arts, cum laude.
Alondra Noemi Ramirez, the Certificate in Sterile Processing.
Yvette Marquez, the Associate's Degree of Applied Science and Paralegal Assistant, magna cum laude.
Hang on for just a second while we wait for our last grads to take their seats. I just want to say thank you to all the cheering sections. Graduates, would you please rise? As a symbol of completing your academic requirements at Front Range Community College, you may now move your tassel to the left. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated.
In closing, I would like to say thank you to our narrators, Chance Fulmer and Elizabeth Plant, to our interpreters, Dory LaJeunesse and Julie Wood, In addition, thank you to Katie Duran for singing our national anthem, and Kristen Hopwood and Sydney Kristen for interpreting the anthem. I also want to express my sincere appreciation to the Social and Behavioral Sciences faculty for serving as marshals for our students. And to family and friends, thank you for coming to celebrate your graduate on this special night. You make it a celebration. Finally, to the graduates, congratulations on the culmination of all of your hard work. Guests, if you could please remain seated until the graduates have exited, and then proceed to the foyer to meet your graduates and have refreshments. Graduates, will you please follow your marshals in the recession?